drugs up and send you back to Barnhurst
Would
with
you
them.
keep your voice down?
Why? Everybody knows you're selling drugs. The whole prison does.
Shut up! The bloody screws don't. I don't want another word out of you. I'm going to be top dog of this crap heap. Screw Judy and Myra. The women will stick with me because I can supply what they want, and no one's going to get in my way.
What's happened?
She's bad! She's bloody bad! She just poured water over a pile of water!
Here, I was standing over there. Harvey, go and get
What do you want?
Oh, Phyllis, get away from her.
Gloria, tell him, for God's sake!
Hey, Desmond, you're on a charge for an unwarranted and sadistic attack on a fellow prisoner.
Oh, Pixie, we're supposed to be on a go slow.
Oh, gosh, yes, that's right. It's hard to remember to go slow all the time, isn't it?
You reckon? Have a look at this lot. They're loving it.
I'm glad they took Margot and Rev away. It's much nicer without them.
Where the hell's Doreen? She said she was coming right back from the kitchen.
You're still worrying about Myra, aren't you? Honestly, she's far too sensible to do anything silly.
Well, I hope you are going to be sensible too and not do anything stupid like look around in Margot's cell.
I promised you I wouldn't. Now stop worrying about me.
Can't help worrying about you. You're the sort of person people like to worry about.
The sort of person people like to worry about. Oh, that's nice. It's like an old saying, like, being in love means never having to say you're sorry. Never did understand what that meant.
Me
Hey,
neither.
guess what? I've heard there's been an accident in the kitchen. Gloria's been hurt and Myra's been marched off to the pound.
What happened?
Well, I couldn't find out exactly. All I know is that Myra's in real big trouble.
You're right after all.
Well, I knew it this morning at muster, didn't I? When the freaks sent Gloria and Myra off to kitchen duty. I suppose Phyllis was still there.
Yeah, do you reckon she had something to do with it?
Well, what do you think?
Well, you never know. Perhaps she did lose her temper and do something silly.
Yeah, she could have got pushed into it.
She wouldn't have done it. She promised because of her kids. It had to be a setup.
Mason, Gloria's here to see you.
Mr. Manning, how's Myra?
I don't know anything about it. This goes slow is a waste of time, you know that.
Not to us, it's not. The department will have to do something eventually.
Gosh, I hope my lawyer's nice.
Good old Pix never gives up trying, eh? Oh, come on, Jude. Don't be worried. Gloria deserves everything she gets.
Yeah, she probably does, but Myra doesn't. Not with her trial coming up in a minute.
Oh, Officer O'Shea, I'll take her in. The governor's just finishing a call.
Does she believe Myra did it?
Relax. Everything's playing into our hands. The governor has just been informed that Payne has been called as a witness against Desmond at her trial.
Yeah? Well, that'd give her all the more reason to do it anyway. I'm surprised she didn't do it.
Well, just make sure you add that to the story when you tell the governor your version of what happened.
Geez, what if they find out the truth?
Look, I've already told the governor what I saw, and so has Officer Radcliffe. There was Payne, scalded and writhing in agony, and Desmond standing over her. You were just another witness.
Miss Ferguson, show her in, please.
Okay. Now, don't overplay your hand. Everything is going our way.
I just can't get over it, Mr. Hamlin. You seem awfully young to be a lawyer.
No, not really. Legal aid lawyers are usually about my age. Look, if you'd rather have someone else.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I just meant that, well, you must be awfully clever to be so important so quickly.
Well, I don't know about being important, Miss Mason. And as for clever, we'll have to see how I go at your trial tomorrow.
I suppose we should get it over and done with. I just wish it wasn't so soon.
Yes, I must admit that I'd like to have had more time in trying to trace Ralph Cranton.
You can't find him?
No sign of him at the flat where he stayed, and he didn't leave any forwarding address. I contacted his parents, but they hadn't heard from him in over 3 months.
Oh, well, never mind. I'll just have to explain to the judge and show him the card Ralph wrote me.
Look, I'm afraid it's not quite as simple as that. For one thing, the prosecution will undoubtedly claim that you wrote the card yourself.
Oh, but I didn't. Well, why would I want to do that? Because then I'd know that Mrs. Powell didn't write it, wouldn't I? I'm not that silly.
No. Look, I'll call in a handwriting expert to testify that it wasn't your writing.
Well, there you are, then.
That's not all there is to it, I'm afraid.
I have complete confidence in you, Mr. Hamlin. I know you'll make them believe that I didn't mean to escape and convince them not to give me a longer sentence, won't you?
Well, I'll certainly try.
Well, I heard Myra say something about Gloria not being able to talk now. Well, I didn't know what she meant, and the next thing I knew it had happened.
You actually saw Desmond tip the boiling water over her?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't believe me eyes. I mean, I knew Mara had it in for her, but I didn't think she'd do nothing like that.
No.
Of course, Mara's been saying ever since Gloria came in that she was going to fix her, but
Yes, Hunt, I'm sure the governor has the picture.
Thank you for being so open with me, Hunt. You women are usually so strict about your no-lagging rule.
Yeah, well, I thought...
Well, Governor, I did take the liberty of explaining to Hunt before we came in that this was far too serious a matter to be playing those sort of games.
Yeah, and I can't afford no more trouble, not after that business with the kid. I thought it was better if I told the truth.
Yes, well, I'm glad you did.
Oh, sorry, I can come back later.
Come in, Mrs. Powell. That'll be all, Hunt. Miss Ferguson?
How does it look?
Oh, bad for Myra. Apparently she knew Payne would be a witness at the trial.
Yeah, well, it's logical, isn't it? And she's got the brain. She still has the women under control. They're going slow, even without her.
Unfortunately, the department thinks if we ignore the strike, it'll go away.
Well, they could be right. If the women see they're getting nowhere, they'll soon get sick of it.
Well, off the record, I hope they don't. I know Erica Davidson disagrees with me. She thinks I'm mishandling the whole situation.
Oh, I don't know about that. She's usually pretty understanding.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on it. She tore strips off me for not moving Payne the minute I knew she was going to be a witness. I tried to explain her about the overcrowding and everything, but all she said was I'd left it a little late. Talk about stating the obvious.
Well, at least they can't blame you about Stevens and Mitchell.
Thank God for that.
Have you heard anything?
No. You know, that escape was planned very carefully. Young Mitchell couldn't possibly have had anything to do with it. She didn't have time. So what if she got in the way?
Oh, yes, Stevens. She's a survivor. But I don't know about Mitchell.
Well, well, well. Very nice. Looks a lot better than that blue dress you've been wearing.
That's what I'm used to.
Huh. On Eddie's wage? You must be joking. Why would a classy Sheila like you waste all that time on a cop and a suburban marriage?
Well, it was a good cover, I mean. Who'd suspect a policeman's wife of running a prostitution racket?
Very clever. Just don't try to be too clever with me.
Why should I when you're calling the shots? I'm quite happy.
Good.
Why don't I go and get the other things that I bought today?
Just don't forget you're going to have to earn all these things.
Then I'll make sure the girls keep hard at it.
That's just a sideline and you know it. Your real value is being bait for your husband.
Oh? I thought it was to stop him giving evidence.
That's what he's been told. Your life for his silence. But he won't stop at that. When he finds out where you are, he'll come after you. And I'm going to make sure he finds out where you are. You, my dear, are the worm on the hook.
It's important you get Eddie, isn't it?
Lionel doesn't like being double-crossed. And I wasn't born with a bad leg. Eddie put a bullet in it a couple of years ago. I owe him for that. I'm going to kill him personally. In the meantime, his wife's going to be very, very nice to me. It's an interesting twist, don't you think? We'll be spending quite a bit of time together, and I expect you to do your best to give satisfaction.
I've never had any complaints. It'll be a pleasure for both of us.
I can see what Eddie saw in you. You're beautiful and intelligent. I think we'll get along real well.
Oh, I know that. Really well.
Well, I thought it was Gino I had to pay up to.
Either me or Gino. We're brothers. And partners. We share everything.
Sick, that guy.
Look, he just likes things a little bit different. So do I. You'll find out. Look, a lot of people around here like things a little bit unusual. You just remember, you give them exactly what they want.
Told you before, I'm not into them sort of things.
You are now. You want to go on breathing? All right.